Hey guys, what is up? This is Matthew Davis, me once again. Welcome back to another movie review. This time it is For Your Name. This movie was just re-released for its 10th anniversary, and I got to see it on the big screen, so I figured now would be the time to talk about it, because I have been thinking about reviewing this movie for quite some time, so I feel like it's the perfect time to talk about this movie. It was loved by almost every single critic, and I didn't watch it when it came out because I wasn't big into anime back then, but it's a shame that I missed out on this film. I didn't watch it till 2018, hence why I have the Blu-ray. And I wish I saw it sooner because, 2016 was a fantastic year for animation, in my opinion. Mostly, anyway. In Your Name, we follow two teenagers named Taki and Mitsuha, as they end up swapping bodies once in a while randomly, and they have absolutely no idea why. But they end up knowing that they're in each other's bodies, and they try to connect with one another by leaving each other notes. That way they can do their routine while they're still in each other's bodies until they get swapped back to their original bodies, and the connection starts to work. And when this happens, they end up wanting to meet with each other, but when it comes to meeting up with one another, there is a way that will probably bring them apart. And it doesn't have to do with distance, but memory. The movie's directed by Makoto Shinkai, who at the time worked on a movie called 5 centimeters per second, which I actually have seen. It's pretty good. But then managed to get more films out with this and other films like Weathering with You, Suzume, all fantastic films which you should absolutely check out. But with Your Name, he managed to deliver something special with a very unique spin on the body swapping genre, because we've seen that a lot, specifically with movies like Freaky Friday and whatnot, but this does it in a way that makes it feel interesting. Not to say that Freaky Friday wasn't interesting, it was. But this movie manages to do it where they swap bodies once in a while, but when it comes to communication with one another, once they know what's going on, they tend to work together rather than just ruin each other's lives. That way they can keep their reputations and whatnot. But it's not really just about keeping their reputation safe. It's more on the lines of learning about one another, whether it be with the people that they meet up with, or when it comes to work or going to school. They manage to do that in such a very unique way where it's a lot more interesting when they are in each other's bodies than when they're not in each other's bodies. Because what it manages to bring in is a lot of elements that really has you thinking, because the more the movie progresses, it manages to add a lot more to the story that will have you connected, because there are things you really got to wrap your head around. Once in a while, it will bring in some backstory, because it seems like there is a connection between these two that they've had before. And without giving away too much, there's pretty much a reason why this whole body swap thing is happening, and it's done in such a beautiful way. And one of the biggest things about this movie is the fact that there was a comet that comes out once every 1,200 years, I believe. And this comet, it's practically putting everybody in danger. So essentially, they have to try to work together to stop it from happening. But this comet manages to be a lot more than just trying to destroy the world and whatnot. Well, one specific part, but ultimately, you are really going to connect with these two, because it's obvious where, you want their relationship to go to. You want these two to meet up with one another. And even though we don't see them on screen together, they still manage to bring in excellent chemistry when it comes to the communication of swapping bodies. It's done in a way that really has you thinking a lot about where things will go, because at first, things end up starting a bit silly, as of course they're touching each other's body parts, like, oh, I have boobs now, or like, yeah, it is intentionally funny, but it has a purpose, because of course, yeah, and for a PG rated movie, I feel like PG rated anime films manage to get away with a lot more than PG American films, because PG nowadays is just doesn't mean anything anymore. But movies like this definitely earn their PG rating. I mean, I mean, Wolf Children was PG, and that definitely felt like it could have had a higher rating, but yeah, I mean, it's not violence or anything like that. It's more on the lines of having a combination of slice of life combined with fantasy elements. And because you're so connected with these two, you don't feel bored throughout this film. It really manages, it kind of makes it feel kind of like if it was supposed to be like split into like a multi-part miniseries but combined into one full-length feature film, because the introduction definitely feels like if it was starting off as an anime TV series, but that's not really a bad thing. Because the soundtrack is so powerful and so upbeat, it really manages to bring the spirits of the movie in. And don't get me wrong, it definitely does feel like a movie because, yeah, it has some of the most cinematic animation that has ever been put into an anime film. I mean, you can definitely tell when elements are supposed to be like 3D without making it, feel like, CGI was mixed in, but really having elements like this isn't like Beastars where that's entirely CG animation combined with regular anime style animation over it. It still manages to have that feel of something like what Studio Ghibli always did with their animation, except for Earwig and the Witch, because that was jumped to 3D and that didn't work out at all. But it's really the scope and the style that Shinkai managed to bring in with this project. It keeps every single second flowing as these two tend to try to meet up with one another because you can feel the connection and it leads up to something truly beautiful towards the end. And I'm not going to give away too much here, but it's definitely going to, strike your emotional core because it just makes this entire thing feel worth it. In the end, guys, Your Name, after 10 years, is still worth checking out to this very day. It's beautifully crafted. The two leads have great chemistry, even though they aren't on screen that much, but they never really needed to be. It's an excellent take on the body swap formula, and it's been cherished by so many people that the audience managed to grow even bigger over time, making it one of the most acclaimed anime films of all time. It's a movie that really gets better with each viewing because you'll be able to understand a lot more, because for some people, it is going to be a little bit hard to wrap your head around from time to time. I mean, you are going to get certain things, but ultimately, it is a movie where you really have to think. But I feel like there's so much in this movie that makes it absolutely worth it. It's a film that I absolutely cherished when it first came out, and after seeing it on the big screen, this is a name I am never, ever going to forget. I also did see the 10th anniversary release of Train to Busan, but since I already reviewed that movie back in 2022, I just decided to do Your Name. But both fantastic movies, had such fantastic experiences, and I'm so glad that I finally got to review this film. It's absolutely amazing, and honestly, it's one of the best animated films like ever. I'm not even exaggerating about that, but yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and maybe subscribe for more. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, or maybe Blue Sky, links in the description, and I'll see you guys later. Word out.